Indonesia investments will primarily revolve around the strengths that Indonesia has. One would be consumer and retail related, internet commerce, so because we have a large population. Second thing would be financial services, so financial technology that covers services for the underbanked or perhaps the unbanked in Indonesia. We're an archipelago, so logistics and infrastructure is always a challenge. So we do see quite a number of companies trying to tackle that. The other thing is that we do have a lot of rainforests, natural resources, climate conscious companies or companies that try to tackle sustainability is also a theme that we've seen in Indonesia's startup ecosystem. Indonesia as a country in terms of innovation and startup capability will not be too complicated. For example, right, you've been hearing a lot about artificial intelligence, innovation in the US. We would consider that be within the realm of foundation layer artificial intelligence. And then you have the application layer artificial intelligence. Now, I think Indonesia probably at this point in time as a developing country will not be able to be at the forefront on the foundation layer, and that's okay. We let the likes of ChatGPT, etc., to do that part. But I feel like using this foundation, there will be a lot of application and usage, right, within the industry in Indonesia. So I would expect potentially some activity there. We have seen a lot of companies trying to tackle ESG from the sustainability point, for example, like waste management. The other thing is also sustainability in terms of mobility, so like electric vehicles. So it's like a big thing. There's a lot of government push as well in terms of subsidies for the people to purchase these electric vehicles and get a massive discount from the government, especially in the motorcycle. Our country use a lot of motorcycles. There's the brand play whereby you try to sell the vehicles themselves, but there will be a lot of derivative functions and sectors that would come out of it. For example, like the charging infrastructure, subscription, maintenance, refurbishing, whatever you see in the whole ecosystem of the IC, the internal combustion engine place, could be potentially replicated, albeit probably in a more simplistic way for electric vehicles because they are simpler in terms of their mechanics and all that stuff. For 2024, I think we're still cautiously optimistic. We do have this looming presidential election in Indonesia in February 2024. Essentially, the incumbents will no longer be running because he's run 2 terms. So now there will be a new administration that's going to be elected, whereby nobody would know what the stance, the policies, and the expectations of it. So I think a lot of people are getting or putting on a wait and see stance. But I feel like assuming everything turns out okay and in general the administration resonate well with the rest of the country, then I feel that throughout the second half of 2024 things might be looking up for the country in terms of activity and macroeconomic conditions.